Yo, what is up guys? My name is Sven and today part 2 of the triple cave base build video. Now in part 2 I'm gonna be featuring how I recommend to build the main cave, aka the middle one. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure you do, because that's where I feature how to build the first and the third cave. Now an insane amount of people have asked me to make a video about the main cave, so here we are. Thank you all for commenting on part 1 and for supporting part 1. I'm very excited to share all of what I know about the middle cave with you all, and without further ado, let's jump into this video. Now before we jump into building the main/middle cave, I would like to explain what I'm gonna be featuring in this video. I'm purely sharing information based on my own experience, and I would like to mention that building in caves is near perfect. It will be very hard to get the exact same cave that I'm gonna be building, or to even repeat your very own builds. Now for this particular reason, I'm just gonna be focusing on the concept and ideas that I have. There's things that you should know while building a cave, and this will purely make you understand what you should do and why, which is in my opinion a lot more useful and a lot more realistic. Now in this video, we're only going to be talking about the main cave. So if you want to know how I build my first and third cave, please look at the first part of the triple cave video. I will be linking that video in the description. So, before I show you guys an example build, let's talk about the concept. Now, the concept is pretty much the most important of this video. As we can see now, you can see a top-down view of the main cave. Now, to make things a little easier, I've added an overlay where you can see that on the left, we have the first cave, and on the right, we have the third cave. I say on the left that there is an entrance, because that's where you'll be entering from, and on the right, where the third cave is, there's a door, because that cave is a dead end. That's just honeycomb, although there's still a door so you can exit the TC and the third cave, whatever you have in there. The concept of my triple cave main cave is very simple. Although it doesn't really matter what you do in this cave, you can still spice it up and make it even more expensive to raid you, and that's what we're gonna be focusing on. You can see in red, which is what I call the TC area, and that's the area that's furthest away from the door from both the first and the third cave. Now the idea is that somewhere in this area you're always gonna put your TC, because that's furthest away. Then in yellow you can see the pathway. Now since we cannot really put foundations everywhere, which you'll see later in the video, we're using the side, aka the bottom on this picture, as the main pathway, since usually you'll be able to clip through certain sides instead of just through doors on top of foundations. And this allows us to add more foundations with honeycomb in the middle instead. So you have to imagine that you're basically gonna go around the cave in best case scenario. Now again, this all depends on what you're building. Then the most important, which is the honeycomb. Now the idea with the honeycomb is that since the third cave is already honeycombed pretty much an insane amount of layers anyways, we're not focusing honeycomb on there. Because if they're gonna get through that, they are basically have already wasted so much rockets that it doesn't really matter at that point. The honeycomb idea here is mostly based around the fact that if you're getting door raided and bunker raided in our caves, let's say they're coming from the first cave and they manage to get through, the honeycomb is purely focused on if raiders try to go straight to your TC area, it's not the cheapest. They have to go through doors to make it the cheapest. As you can see, the yellow line is very long, so it's basically insanely expensive to go through doors in the main cave as well. Please note that this picture will all make sense when you see me building, which is what we are going to do now. Okay, so once again, I would like to refer to the original triple cave video I made. As you can see, on our left we have the third cave, and on our right we have the first cave. I'll quickly show you guys. This is the first cave, and here is the third cave. So originally, this is the entrance. You can go left to the first cave, right to the third cave. And in this video, we're gonna be going into the middle cave, aka the second cave. Now there's a bunch of ways you can build this cave. As we have originally used an oil refinery in the third cave, we don't have to put it in the middle one. So we're gonna skip that. Now you could build something you don't even have to build anything. You could literally just place boxes all over in this cave and it would still be strong because of the first and the third. But for the sake of this video, we are gonna build in the third cave as well for optimal strength and to make this cave as strong as possible. And when you're gonna build this, I would really recommend to have your tier 2 workbench in the first cave and use the first cave at the beginning of the Y, because when you get to level 3, you can actually start building the third cave and you can immediately place that down. Now this is very helpful and I would really recommend this. So is there a way to do everything here perfect? No, there isn't. Are you gonna repeat this until you have the exact same as me? Probably not. So we're just gonna be focused on the examples and the ideas. And I'm probably gonna end up with a cave that will never be like any of mine. It will never be the same, basically. Every wipe it will be different because you cannot spend about 1,000 tries to try and place this triangle. So I like to start with the door tactic here. You can start in a lot of ways to fill up as much triangles as you can. Although I like to align the door the best I can. So I'm just gonna go for this. You see, we cannot place it. I usually check why I can't, so I understand how wrong I am. Okay, so it has to be more sideways, like that. There we go. Like that. Now this is a very alright gap. I'm just gonna be happy with this and put a door frame here and just finish that off. Now, this is fine. In all honesty, I'm not cutting anything out of this video, so I'm just gonna build back with whatever we have here. If it's really bad, we destroy everything, but this is probably how we're gonna have it. So we're just gonna try to use as much triangles as we can. First place where we want to go to is the back there. So we want to build all the way back there and see how many triangles can we fit here, or squares. Can also try to put a square here. Not possible because it's so low. Let's try again, but then with a square here maybe. There we go. Maybe another square there. Okay, that's pretty good. Triangle, triangle here, triangle here, triangle here. This is pretty alright. Yeah, this is pretty alright. I know there's nothing here, but we can make loot rooms there, or we'll see. We'll see. So that's pretty alright. Let's try to fill up the rest with triangles. Try to build back towards the end. Cannot build here. Oh, that's pretty alright. We just put a square there. That blocks it all off. So that does the job. And here we just build back. There we go. This is all the triangles I have here. Now with triangles you have the optimal space. Although I like to use squares sometimes to maximize. Because if we only use triangles here, we wouldn't be able to place this here. Now we're gonna go from this. And is this perfect? Probably not. But again, just showing this for you guys for the ideas. And I hope you appreciate that. Now when you're 100% sure that this is the layout you want to go for, we're gonna place down the TC. The TC is kind of important. I mean, I know it is important. So we want to have it as most far as we can into the cave. Alright, so with the TC being all the way back here, it's probably the strongest because it's the furthest away for anyone to basically get to the TC. So when we have the TC placed, we can actually, since everything is connected, we can upgrade the doorway and place a door. Now how you fill everything up here, it's kind of up to yourself. What I usually like to do is have the tier 3 somewhere here, and what you can do back here, if we're lucky... Okay, we could try something here. Okay, we can actually put... Removing this foundation allows us to extend one triangle out. And that is actually very useful in this case. Because when we want to put the tier 3, we can actually clip the tier 3 all the way into the rocks. So putting it there is actually very smart. You want to put walls there? Not really. Although I would put that one. And I would put that one. And I'd simply do that before you place. As you can see here, it is possible to place this. You just have to find the right spot. Now, what you want to do here is place a frame. And also, very, very important, place the garage door already. Because we're not going to be able to place that garage door after the tier 3 is placed here. I like to have it a bit out here, just because if you put it too far in the rock, you might actually not get level 3 workbench privilege, so to say. And that can mess you up, so let's just place it on the edge here. Like that. That's pretty alright. We can close that off, and you should not be able to see it. Nope, you don't. It's really nice usage of space. Now for the rest here, since we cannot replace that anyway, I'm just going to upgrade everything to metal. Like this. Now this is our kind of like back part. Again, how you fill up this thing with boxes, where you put furnaces, it's all really up to yourself. Like I said, it's really random how the cave will turn out. It's never always the same. So it's very important you know what you should do and what you shouldn't. And it's not really a point of me explaining, you should put a loot room here and put a wall here. Because you're probably gonna have a slightly different cave than me anyway. So another thing that I like to do is create a... Once you come in here, create a pathway that goes all the way on the right, all the way around. Because since we cannot put foundations here, we cannot put doors there either. Although we can put... can use this space as kind of like a crawling space that you have to like slip through to get all the way around. And from this point, when you reach the door of towards the third cave, we're gonna go into our main cave. And usually on the bottom I have drop boxes, loot with stuff that's not very important, cards, resources. Towards here we have the main component, loot, etc. And then up here will be a bedroom floor with main loot, such as guns and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the layout we're gonna go for. So here, what I usually try is to see how many walls can we fit. Here we can't either. Here we can't, see? So here you can actually clip outside of the foundations, and that way we save space, allowing us for more honeycomb. This one you can't. This one you might be able to fit through, but it's just gonna be really annoying. So we're not gonna go for that. This one you can easily fit through, so we're gonna go for that. This one you can't, so it's gonna leave us with something like this. So what I do there is I place as much frames. Here we put a wall, so you can't like go back here. Wait, can you? No, you can't go back there anyway. But just to like confuse raiders, we're putting a wall there. Here we're putting a wall. Let's upgrade all that. That should not be armored. Something around like this. Well, there we can put another door frame here. These two we make armored. This one as well. This one can be metal. Actually, I would make this one armored as well. So there you go. That's basically the pathway. What can you put here? Turrets. You can make like a little turret room. Frame here. And then we fill this up with frames all the way as well. And then of course, this is very important. We put a roof on top of all this. So if we're looking from the top, we can upgrade everything. So there we go. There we have the pathway that's going all the way around. Sometimes I get better pathways like this, but this one is not that bad, honestly. They're basically, the reason I want to make this one armored is by the time they blow about 4 or 5 doors, they're probably going to realize that it's going to go all the way around. So when they change their mind, they cannot just blow the wall either. They're either going to have to go all the way back, blow that, or continue through doors anyways. So that's why I like to make that fourth wall there armored as well. Now at this point, you could actually just upgrade everything to metal. When everything is metal, and we have our pathway, this is already like getting pretty good. So what you want to do now is kind of lay out where do you want what. And I kind of want to just remove this. because we can put furnaces in this triangle here. Just because there's gonna be a wall right there anyway, because it has to be seamless. There's nothing we can do back in that triangle there anyway. It's gonna be hard to access. So let's just use this one as a little furnace area. I really like to use these kind of furnace areas because they kind of function as honeycomb as well. And a window. That's the furnace area. And then we're coming here. What we want to do here is, if you want to make it even stronger, you could put a door like that. Put a wall here. Roof that off. So you have to like go in like that. It's pretty alright. Put a wall like that. Door here. And a roof on top. Alright, so that's our pathways. That's our way in. That's everything we need. Usually I start building at the end here. So let's just see. How can we fit a lot of stuff in here? I think I would make a loot room here. Just because it's easier to put the boxes in there. So we have one loot room. Tier 3. Frames all around again. Can also put some loot room up there. We can access the TC. We don't even have to jump in there. It's not possible. You can put stuff up here. Let me just show you guys. If you want to. What you can do. Repair bench. Very useful to put like that. I will show you that the research table should not be possible. And some boxes. See, research table is even possible as well. So what you can do is put it like that. Put a... Let's see. Box like this maybe. Box like... Just trying to clip it. Hold on. First, that should be twig when you're doing this. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty alright. And then what we can do here is... Maybe put another box. And if we cannot put a box... We want to put a research table. I mean, that one. So how this works, if you need to use the repair table, it's right up there. That's all right. And if you want to access either the research table, that box, or that box, and you can probably even put the small box there, we have some extra storage that's kind of hidden. And then, of course, we want to wall that off. Now, what I like to do here in this case is have a little loot room as well. Just for components and stuff like that. And that's basically the main area. So now we're pretty much getting there. So with the tip of stuff up here, it's very nice. Another tip that I have is you want to put your way up somewhere. And I think I want to have that here. So down here will be an entire floor. Just so you guys understand clearly, visually as well. We're putting triangles as roofs. Filling this whole area up, basically. Should be a square. Would that be a square? Probably. Yeah, because there's a square there as well. So yeah, this is entirely filled up. So the way up is all the way at the back. And the reason why I want to do that is partially because of space. If you put the way up straight here, we want to have honeycomb here, and I'll show you guys why in a second. Also, that allows you to fight back for your cave as much and as long as possible. They will basically get your main loot and your beds all the way at the end. Like probably even after TC. So it's basically the most secured to put the way up all the way back here. So they have to go around all the way down here. So how you fill this up, do it however you like. Although I would really recommend to honeycomb this, as this is basically the way in. So if they blow this armored wall, they have to blow that one too. And you could even go overkill on it. You could even go overkill with it and do something like this. That seems pretty alright. Now, depending on how much people you are with, you want to decide how overkill you go here. But let's just say you are a very small group, like a trio or something. You could literally just honeycomb this all the way. And of course, from above as well. Don't make these armored. Why not? Because if they blow that, they cannot clip through that themselves anyway. So we have a very, very strong layer of armored walls here at the door. So if the raiders raid and they think, let's be smart, let's blow straight through this, it's not cheaper at all. Like, it's really, really expensive already. So how much armored, how much HQM does this actually cost? 85. It's quite a lot. Quite a lot, I know. But that's basically all you need, technically. Metal walls here as well. You don't have to make them armored. We're gonna honeycomb this completely. So if they raid up from your front door, this is honeycombed as well. And then we're putting roofs on there. And we make those armored again. So upwards is also double armored. Maybe even 3 times. Depending on what you want. That one could do. Alright, so that's the honeycomb. And now let's finish the loot room downstairs. So what you can do is make like these nice triple loot rooms, kind of. If you'd want to. So we can make another furnace area over here. Make like a loot room like this. Loot room, loot room. Pathway. Put a turret there. Because why not? There we go. That's pretty much it. You fill this up with garage doors, armored doors, you name it. That's the bottom floor. And for the top, what I like to have here up here is a little panic room, or like the last resort room. How you get up there, I usually figure out along the way. You could make it so you have to crouch over here. That's actually doable. So it's kind of gonna cost a lot of space. So let's not do that instead. Let's just make it so you come here and you go up right here. So half all this as well. That can be metal. That's fine. This will be the way up if it's doable, of course. No, it's not doable. But then we make the way up right here. Remove that. Way up here and then up again. So we're gonna add another layer of honeycomb here. Just so if the raiders raid up. It's kind of illogical, but could happen. They have to spend so much as well. There we go, and then we just close off this room, leaving only the way up as a gap, basically. Can put a wall here, or there as well, because this can be another loot room. We can even put a door there. Remember, placing doors, make sure you don't accidentally place it, because if you place, for example, a garage door here, and you open it, it's gone. You won't be able to access it anymore. So make sure you place it. Put the code lock and make sure in this case it's on the left side. Because on the right side I'm pretty sure you won't even be able to access it anymore. But please, please remember that. So what to put up here? I usually make bedrooms. So here is basically the bedroom area. You can make your big loot room here. You can make only boxes on the floor here. You can armor this up in case they decide to go straight up from the doorway at least. At least those triangles around. And yeah, that is basically it. It's not like nothing insane. It's nothing crazy. Is this the strongest variant you can make? Probably not. But again, I really want to show you guys my kind of ideas that I have in my head. And I want to teach you guys the things that you should keep in mind when you're building the second cave, because that's the most important. When you're building caves, you're never always going to have exactly the same. You're never always going to have the same cave as someone makes in a video. So I think it's more important to focus on the ideas behind it rather than the perfect way of building it. It's very important you also make it based on your needs and based on what your group wants. Like I said, since I said maybe you're a small group in this case, you can honeycomb a lot more than you'd usually do. But if you're a bigger group, you don't. And the same goes like that for the third cave. If you are a big group, you might even have to make some loot rooms in the third cave as well. You know, it all depends. But I just want to show you guys how I usually build it. And I've never had my second cave like this, honestly. I've never had it like this. Although, most importantly is the ideas that I show you guys. And yeah, I hope you appreciate that. So one last thing, let's talk about the upkeep. I'm going to show you guys what the upkeep is for my 6000 metal frags and 120 high quality metal. Alright, that was it for this one, guys. Now, I really hope this video can be useful to you and your friends during a wipe. If it is, or if you're using this base, make sure you let me know in the comments. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking for a next base build video, and I'm still curious, what would you like me to build? And what would you like me to showcase? So make sure to let me know in the comments on my channel as well. I'm also doing my very best to be very active on Discord, so make sure to join my Discord server. I will be talking to you guys there personally if you want. If you have any questions, feel free to join. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.